types of organic reaction. Again, to study the reaction mechanism, we must know about the what type of the organic reaction is there, what is the type of that particular organic reaction. And generally, all the organic reactions are mainly classified into four types. There are four main types of the organic reactions. Let us see one by one. Here, first one is the substitution reaction. Second type is the addition reaction. First one is the substitution reaction. Then second type is the addition reaction. Then third type of the organic reaction is the elimination reaction. And last type is the rearrangement reaction. Generally, all the organic reactions are mainly classified into that four types: substitution, addition, elimination, and rearrangement reaction. Now here we are going to discuss all the four types of organic reaction in detail with their sub classification also. So let us see one by one about that all the organic reaction. First, about the substitution reaction, first main type of the organic reaction. Okay, here before going towards its definition, again I will explain simple example of this reaction. Let us see simple example of this reaction, substitution. This is CS3Br methyl bromide, example of organic compound. When it reacted with the aqueous KOH, potassium hydroxide. Okay, now what happens here? That bromine from the methyl bromide is replaced by OH. It is replaced by OH and we get methyl alcohol. Then that bromine and that potassium, it form KBr. Okay, this is the byproduct KBr, while that main product is called methyl alcohol. And thus methyl bromide on a reaction with potassium hydroxide, we get methyl alcohol and KBr. Now what happens in the reaction? In this reaction, that bromine is replaced by OH, means atom or group from the molecule is replaced by another atom or group. Now what should be the description of reaction? Yes, atom or group from the molecule, atom or group from the methyl bromide is replaced by another atom or group, and that type of reaction is called substitution reaction. This is example of substitution reaction. Now how will you define substitution reaction? The reaction in which atom or group from the molecule is replaced by another atom or group is called substitution reaction. Okay, this is very simple example of substitution reaction, alkaline hydrolysis of methyl bromide. Now there are three main types of the substitution reaction. First one is the electrophilic substitution, second nucleophilic substitution, and third one is the free radical substitution reaction. Now let us see one by one about that three types of substitution reaction. Let us see first one, electrophilic substitution reaction. Here also I will explain a simple example first and then we will see definition. Simple example. Yes, this is the benzene molecule. All of you are very well known about that aromatic compound benzene, six-membered carbon containing compound. Here each corner, या benzene मध्ये प्रत्येक corner काय आहे? There is a carbon which having one hydrogen. प्रत्येक कार्बन आहे आणि त्यावरती एक एक हायड्रोजन आहे. There is alternate single and double bond. That compound is called benzene, very well known compound, cyclic compound, aromatic compound having 3 pi bond, 3 double bond. Okay, now when that benzene is treated with the mixture of HNO3, nitric acid, and H2SO4, sulfuric acid, that mixture is called nitrating mixture. Now what happens in this reaction? Actually in the reaction, in first step, that sulfuric acid react with the nitric acid. Benzene, when it reacted with nitric acid and sulfuric acid, there is a mixture of that two acid. In first step, that two acid undergo reaction and there is a formation of NO2 plus ion. There is a formation of nitronium ion. Okay, in first step, nitronium ion is formed. While in second step, what happens? In second step, what happens? We know that in benzene, each corner means there is one carbon and that carbon having one hydrogen. Okay, in each corner there is one carbon and it having one hydrogen. Suppose for convenience, I have shown one hydrogen atom. Now what happens in the second step? That hydrogen atom from the benzene is replaced by that NO2 plus group. It is replaced by that nitro group, and we get this product. This is called nitrobenzene. That hydrogen is replaced by NO2 and we get nitrobenzene. Okay, now what is the byproduct? इथून बाहेर पडलेला hydrogen. Okay, this is the H plus ion actually. Proton याला म्हणतो H plus ion. And I will explain the reaction. This reaction is called nitration reaction, nitration of benzene. Benzene, when it reacted with mixture of concentrated HNO3 and H2SO4. Here, in first step, nitric acid react with sulfuric acid. There is a formation of NO2 plus ion, and that hydrogen is replaced by NO2. Actually, there is a replacement of one atom, hydrogen atom, by another atom. There another group. Therefore, it is example of substitution. Therefore, it is example of substitution. Okay, but that hydrogen atom is replaced by NO2 plus ion. It is replaced by electrophile. It is positively charged ion. It is electrophile, and thus in this reaction, hydrogen atom of the benzene is replaced by positively charged ion. It is replaced by electrophile. Therefore, it is called electrophilic substitution reaction. The reaction in which atom or group from the molecule is replaced by electrophile is called electrophilic substitution reaction. Very simple definition. First subtype. Okay, now let us see second subtype, nucleophilic substitution reaction. या मधला दुसरा टाइप आपण बघूया, न्यूक्लियोफिलिक सबस्टिट्यूशन रिएक्शन. ओके, आय विल टेक सेम एक्झाम्पल मगाशी मी घेतलं होतं, मिथिल ब्रोमाइड. ओके, व्हेन इट रिएक्टेड विथ द पोटॅशियम हायड्रॉक्साइड. Okay, now what happens here? Yes, that bromine is replaced by OH. We get methyl alcohol. Byproduct is that bromine and potassium KBr is the byproduct. Okay, this is simple organic reaction. Bromine is replaced by OH. Therefore, it is substitution reaction. But here, bromine is replaced by OH minus. It is replaced by negatively charged ion. It is replaced by nucleophile. OH minus is nucleophile, and hence that reaction is an example of nucleophilic substitution. Here, in methyl bromide, bromine is replaced by OH minus, nucleophile, hence it is nucleophilic substitution. And thus, the substitution reaction in which atom or group from the molecule is replaced by nucleophile is called nucleophilic substitution. Let us see third type. यामधला third type आपण बघूया, free radical substitution. Again, let us see example. Methane, when it reacted with the chlorine in presence of ultraviolet light, what happens here? One of the hydrogen atom from the methane is replaced by chlorine. We get methyl chloride किंवा आपण याला क्लोरोमिथेन असं म्हणतो. बाय प्रोडक्ट काय असेल? One of the hydrogen, इथून बाहेर पडलेला hydrogen and one chlorine HCl. You have studied that reaction at 11th or 12th level. Okay, this is actually photochlorination of methane. That reaction is carried out in presence of light. Hence, it is called photochlorination. Actually, how that reaction occur? Reaction कशी होते? In first step, that chlorine molecule in presence of ultraviolet light undergo homolytic bond breaking. One electron goes towards chlorine, one electron goes towards another chlorine. First chlorine acquires unpaired electron, second chlorine also acquired unpaired electron. Thus there is a formation of free radical. Means in first step there is a formation of free radical. मग काय होतं? Here that hydrogen atom from the methane is replaced by that free radical. In this reaction, hydrogen atom from the methane is replaced by free radical. Hence, it is called free radical substitution. How will you define it? The substitution reaction in which atom or group from the molecule is replaced by free radical is called free radical substitution. Very simple definition. Yes, this is just about the first type of organic reaction. We are discussing about the types of organic reaction. There are four main types. One is the substitution, addition, elimination and rearrangement. यामधला पहिला टाइप आपण डिटेल मध्ये बघितला. What is substitution and its सब types of substitution. Now let us see second type. यामधला पुढचा टाइप आपण बघणार आहोत, addition reaction. Okay, this is the main type of organic reaction, addition reaction. First, I will explain one simple example regarding addition reaction. Okay, this CH2 double bond CH2. What is the name of compound? Yes, it is ethene molecule. When it is created with HCl, when it is treated with HCl, what happens here? Addition of HCl takes place across the C double bond C. Hydrogen adds to carbon, chlorine adds to another carbon, and we get the CS3 single bond CH2 Cl. लक्षात ठेवा, after addition, generally if addition takes place across the double bond, after addition one bond gets disappear, म्हणजे डबल बॉन्डला ऍडिशन झालं, we get only single bond. यामधला हायड्रोजन ऍड होतो कार्बनला, क्लोरीन ऍड होतो अनदर कार्बनला, and we get the CH3 single bond CH2 Cl, and this is the ethyl chloride. Okay, and thus ethyl, when reacted with HCl, it gives ethyl chloride. Actually, what is the main concept of this reaction? What is the main concept in this reaction? That two molecule, ethene and HCl, that two molecule combine together to form single product. In this reaction, that two molecule combine together to form single product, and that reaction is called addition reaction. The reaction in which two molecules combines together to form a single product, and that is called as the addition reaction. Generally, in organic chemistry, addition takes place across multiple bonds. Means if there is a double or triple bond, then addition of reagent takes place across the multiple bond, double or triple bond, आणि मग त्यामधला एक बॉन्ड disappear होतो after addition. Okay, and this is the example of addition reaction. Okay, now that addition reaction again is subclassified into two types. त्याचे पुन्हा दोन types आहेत. One is the electrophilic addition and second is the nucleophilic addition. These are the two types. Let us see one by one. First, about the electrophilic addition reaction. I will explain. First example. Okay, consider the same example. Ethene molecule, when treated with HCl, what happens? Addition takes place across the double bond and we get ethyl chloride. Okay, means here two molecules combines together to form single product. Therefore, it is example of addition reaction. I have explained same example. Now let us see mechanism of the reaction. Means how actually that addition takes place. What are the steps involved in the reaction? What are the intermediate form in the reaction? हे थोडंसं mechanism मध्ये आपण पाहतोय. Let us see mechanism of this reaction, how that process takes place. Okay, now in first step what happens? That ethene molecule react with H. Actually, in first step, addition of H plus ion takes place across the C double bond C. या ठिकाणी H plus ला addition कशी होते बघा. Here that pi bond undergo breaking. कार्बन कार्बनच्या मधला जो pi bond आहे, this कार्बन कार्बन pi bond undergo breaking and new bond between that carbon, हा जो कार्बन आहे, that carbon and hydrogen, यामध्ये असणारा नवीन बॉन्ड तयार होतो, हा pi bond break होतो, and there is a formation of new bond between carbon and hydrogen. Means in first step what happens? The addition of H plus ion takes place to the carbon. Okay, now we get the species, we get the intermediate. Now that carbon having 3 hydrogen, पहिल्यांदा होते 2, आणखीन एक हायड्रोजन याला ऍड होतो, म्हणजे पाई बॉन्ड ब्रेक होतो आणि या कार्बन आणि हायड्रोजन मध्ये नवीन बॉन्ड फॉर्म होतो, and there is a CH3. But what should be the charge on that carbon? Yes, that carbon now acquire positive charge. या कार्बन वरती पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज येतो. देयर इज अ पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज. कारण हा पाई बॉन्ड ब्रेक होत असताना इलेक्ट्रॉन पेअर जी आहे या बॉन्ड मध्ये असणारी, इट गोज अवे फ्रॉम द सेकंड कार्बन. या सेकंड कार्बन पासून ही इलेक्ट्रॉन पेअर दूर जाते. हेन्स दॅट सेकंड कार्बन एक्वायर पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज अँड दॅट स्पेसीज in which carbon having positive charge is called carbocation. Thus, in this reaction, there is a formation of carbocation as an intermediate. Okay, now let us see next step. Second step काय आहे? मग सेकंड स्टेप मध्ये काय होतं? पहिल्या स्टेप मध्ये HCl मधला H प्लस ची ऍडिशन झालेली आहे. सेकंड स्टेप मध्ये काय होतं? Cl मायनस आयन जो आहे, इट ऍड्स टू सेकंड कार्बन. ओके, Cl मायनस, देयर इज अ निगेटिव्ह चार्ज. Negative charge means there is an electron pair. Now this electron pair of chlorine form a bond with that positively charged carbon. याबरोबर bond formation होतं, and there is formation of new bond between carbon and chlorine. This is the new bond between carbon and chlorine, and this is our ethyl chloride. And thus ethene react with HCl to form ethyl chloride. This is called addition reaction. But that addition reaction takes place in two steps. We have discussed the mechanism how that addition occurs. पहिल्या स्टेप मध्ये काय होतं? Pi bond undergo breaking and new bond between carbon and H plus ion is formed. Well, and we get the carbocation. In second step, Cl minus ion form a bond with positively charged carbon to form ethyl chloride. Okay, this is the mechanism of this particular reaction. But what is the main concept of the reaction? या reaction मध्ये main काय या ठिकाणी होतं? What happens in the reaction? This reaction, that addition reaction is initiated. याची सुरुवात कुठून होते? That addition reaction is initiated by the attack of H plus ion, by the attack of positively charged ion, by the attack of electrophile. Positively charged ion means this is electrophile, and thus that reaction is initiated. That reaction is started by the attack of electrophile. Hence it is called electrophilic addition reaction. म्हणून याला आपण electrophilic addition reaction असं म्हणतो. मग सिंपली डिफाइन कसं करता येईल? द ऍडिशन रिएक्शन which is initiated by the attack of electrophile is called electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, this is the example of electrophilic addition reaction. Okay, let us see second type. यामधला दुसरा टाइप आपण बघूया, nucleophilic addition reaction. Here also consider example of nucleophilic addition. Yes, this is organic compound CH3 C double bond O CH3. Name of the compound is, yes, it is acetone. It is example of ketone आणि compound आपण acetone असं म्हणतो. When that acetone is treated with hydrogen cyanide. Okay, now what happens here? Here hydrogen cyanide adds across the C double bond O. That reagent adds across the multiple bond. Then how the addition occurs? That hydrogen atom यामध्ये असणारा जो H आहे, it adds to oxygen, and this cyano group it adds to the carbon. याचे addition कार्बनला होते, and we get the addition. बघा, हायड्रोजनचे addition ऑक्सिजनला आणि cyano ग्रुपचे addition कार्बनला होते. इथं after addition one bond gets disappear. यामधला एक bond कमी होतो, and we get the addition product. This is called addition product. Okay, and this is simple example here also, that two molecule acetone and hydrogen cyanide, that two molecule combines together to form single product. Therefore this is also example of addition reaction. But let us see mechanism of the reaction, means how actually that addition takes place. यामध्ये आपण बघूया addition कशा पद्धतीने होते. I will take the same. Yes, this is our acetone. पहिल्या स्टेप मध्ये काय होतं? We are using hydrogen cyanide. In that hydrogen cyanide, cyano group having negative charge. Okay, and that negative charge means this is, there is electron pair. इथं negative charge आहे, means there is electron pair. Now this electron pair form a bond with that carbon. या carbon बरोबर bond तयार करते, means there is a formation of new bond between carbon and cyano group and carbon, right? But that carbon of acetone already having 4 covalent bond, त्याकडे already 4 covalent bond आहेत. This is the first, this is the second, and that 2 are the 4. बरोबर? मग पाचवा बॉन्ड तो तयार करेल का? This is not possible. Therefore, to maintain the valency of this carbon, one of the pi bond undergo breaking. इथला pi bond break होतो, and this electron pair goes on the oxygen. It acquires negative charge. I will repeat again. In first step, मी याचा mechanism explain करतोय, how the addition of acetone with hydrogen cyanide takes place. Okay, this is our acetone molecule. In first step, that cyanide ion attack on the acetone, means that cyano group form a bond with that central carbon. Therefore, to maintain the valency of this carbon, one of the pi bond undergo breaking, and that electron pair goes on the oxygen. It acquires negative charge. This is the negative charge on the electron, and there is a new bond between carbon and cyano group. यामध्ये हा नवीन बॉन्ड आहे, and we get the intermediate. याला आपण intermediate असं म्हणूया. This is the first step. मग second step काय आहे? Here, ठीक आहे, आपण सुरुवात करूया. That H plus ion adds to the negatively charged oxygen. त्याचे addition या negatively charged oxygen ला होते. That H plus ion adds to that negatively charged oxygen, and we get hydroxy group here. Means this is our addition product. हा आपला addition product आहे वर दाखवलेला, and thus we can show the mechanism of the same reaction in two steps, how actually addition of hydrogen cyanide takes place across the C double bond O of the acetone. आपण त्याचा मेकॅनिझम एक्सप्लेन केलेला आहे 2 स्टेप मध्ये हाऊ दॅट ॲडिशन ऑकर्स. मग यामध्ये फर्स्ट स्टेप काय आहे थोडं कॉन्सन्ट्रेट करा. व्हॉट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप? इन फर्स्ट स्टेप देयर इज अ अटॅक ऑफ Cn मायनस, means there is an attack of negatively charged ion, means there is an attack of nucleophile, and thus that reaction is initiated by the attack of nucleophile, hence it is called nucleophilic addition reaction. म्हणून याला आपण nucleophilic addition reaction असं म्हणतो. Thus the addition reaction which is initiated by the attack of nucleophile is called nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, this is about the second type of organic reaction, addition reaction. What is meant by addition reaction? Then it's a 2 types. One is electrophilic and nucleophilic addition reaction. We have studied with the example what is meant by electrophilic and nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, now let us see next. पुढचा type आपण बघूया, elimination reaction. Again a very important type of organic reaction. Now let us see what is meant by elimination reaction. First, I will explain one simple example of organic reaction. Very simple. The name of compound is a chloroform, CHCl3. Simply, we can say that it is CHCl3 chloroform molecule. Okay. Suppose that chloroform molecule is treated with the potassium hydroxide. How the reaction occurs? Let us see how the reaction occurs. In this reaction, one hydrogen atom and one chlorine atom, that 2 atoms are removed from chloroform. यामधून एक हायड्रोजन आणि एक क्लोरीन बाहेर पडतो. मग शिल्लक काय होतं बघायचं, that chlorine and potassium form KCl, right? Then that hydrogen and that OH it form H2O. Okay, these are the byproduct. मग शिल्लक काय आहे, carbon having 2 chlorine, carbon having 2 chlorine. Okay, and that species is called carbene. That species is called carbene. Okay, this is the simple example of organic reaction. I will explain once again. Chloroform, CHCl3 is the chloroform, carbon having 3 covalent bond with the chlorine and 1 bond with hydrogen. Okay, chloroform. When treated with KOH, here 2 atoms, that is 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine, are removed from the molecule. That hydrogen and OH, there is formation of H2O. Then that Cl and potassium form KCl. Now there are only 2 chlorine on the carbon, and that species is called carbene. Now question arises, what is the main concept of the reaction? Actually, what happens in the reaction? What is the main rule, main theory of the reaction? In this reaction, that 2 atoms are removed. That 2 atoms are removed from molecule. One is hydrogen and one is a chlorine. The 2 atoms are removed from the molecule without any replacement. There is no any replacement. Just there is a removal of atom or group from the molecule, and that process, that reaction is called elimination. Eliminate means to remove out. In this reaction, hydrogen and chlorine are removed out from the chloroform. Hence, it is called elimination reaction. Okay. Definition कसं सांगता येईल? Simply, I will repeat again. The reaction in which 2 atoms or groups are removed from molecule without being replaced by another atom or group is called elimination reaction. ज्या रिएक्शन मध्ये मोलेक्युल मधून आपण 2 atoms किंवा ग्रुप रिमूव्ह आउट करतो without replacement by other atom or group is called elimination reaction. Okay, this is the best example of elimination reaction. And again, there are 2 types of the elimination. One is called first 1-1 elimination, or it is also known as the alpha elimination. This is the first type. And second is the 1-2 elimination or alpha beta elimination. Now let us see both the types one by one in detail. What is meant by 1-1 and 1-2 elimination? Okay, now let us see first about the 1-1 elimination. I will explain same example of chloroform. Chloroform when heated with aqueous KOH, what happens here? Yes, here 2 atoms or group are removed from the molecule. One is hydrogen, one is chlorine, right? Here that chlorine and potassium form KCl. Then hydrogen and OH form H2O. Now carbon having 2 chlorine, and that is called carbene. Okay, Now, what happens in the reaction? Yes, in this reaction, we can say that two atoms are removed from the same molecule without any replacement. Therefore, it is called elimination, right? Two atoms are removed from the molecule without any replacement. Therefore, it is called elimination. But that two atoms are removed from same carbon atom. That two atoms are removed from same carbon atom. Okay, and therefore it is called as the 1-1 elimination. Here two atoms are removed from same carbon atom. Therefore that reaction is called as the 1-1 elimination, or it is also known as the alpha elimination. The elimination reaction in which two atoms or groups are removed from same carbon atom of molecule is called as the 1-1 or alpha elimination. Okay, this is the first subtype. Now let us see second 1-2 or alpha beta elimination. याचाही मी example समोर ठेवतो अगोदर. Let us see example of alcohol. Okay, this is example of alcohol. Very well known example. 2-propanol actually. CH3, CH. Oh, sorry, there is one CH3 here. Okay, and there is OH. Okay, this is the 2-propanol. When that 2-propanol is heated with concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 is example of dehydrating agent. It is example of dehydrating agent. Okay, when that 2-propanol is heated with that concentrated H2SO4, what happens? That molecule undergo dehydration. Means it loses water molecule. How it loses water molecule? OH from one carbon and hydrogen atom from the adjacent carbon. शेजारच्या कार्बनचा hydrogen H2O बाहेर पडेल. Suppose there is a removal of water molecule and double bond appears in between that two carbon. दोन्हीच्या मध्ये double bond येतो and we get the propene. There is a formation of propene. Okay, and this is called dehydration of alcohol. Very well known reaction. तुम्ही सर्वांनी 12वीला स्टडी केलेली आहे. 2-propanol when heated with concentrated H2SO4 undergo dehydration, loses water molecule, OH from one carbon and hydrogen from adjacent carbon is removed as a water molecule. Double bond appears in between that two carbon and this is called as the dehydration of alcohol. Okay, now what is the main concept of the reaction? Yes, in this reaction OH and hydrogen are removed from molecule. Means there is a removal of OH and hydrogen. There is a removal of atom or group, two atom or group from the same molecule without any replacement. Therefore, that dehydration is example of elimination. This is also example of elimination. Why it is elimination? Because OH and hydrogen means two atom or group are removed from molecule and therefore it is called elimination. This is example of elimination. But that OH and hydrogen, they are removed from adjacent carbon atom. They are removed from neighboring carbon atom and that process is called 1-2 elimination. That is called 1-2 elimination. Means the elimination reaction in which two atoms or group are removed from two adjacent carbon atoms is called 1-2 or alpha beta elimination. त्याला आपण 1-2 किंवा alpha beta elimination असं म्हणतो. Okay, this is about the third type. What is meant by elimination reaction and it's a sub two types. त्याचे दोन सब types आपण पाहिलं. One is the first is the 1-1 elimination and second is the 1-2 elimination. We have studied with the example also. Okay, now let us see next one is the rearrangement reaction. यामधला पुढचा सब टाइप आपण बघूया. Sorry, पुढचा मेन टाइप आपण बघूया. What is meant by rearrangement reaction? Okay, let us see a well-known example of this reaction. Okay, this is example of actually aromatic compound and this is the ester. Aromatic compound and this is the ester. Functional group is the ester. Name of the compound is the phenyl acetate. This is phenyl acetate. When that compound is heated with anhydrous AlCl3, आपण याला हीट करतोय with anhydrous AlCl3. यामध्ये रिएक्शन कशी होते बघा. Okay, we know that here each carbon having hydrogen atom. Here also there is one hydrogen, ether here also. Okay, now how the reaction occurs? Here that COCH3 group migrates from, यामध्ये असणारा हा जो COCH3 group आहे याला आपण acetyl group असं म्हणतो. This acetyl group migrates from oxygen to this ortho position. आणि इथं ऑर्थो पोझिशनला तो हायड्रोजन आहे, इट गोज ऑन द ऑक्सिजन अँड वी गेट द प्रॉडक्ट. प्रॉडक्ट कसा मिळतो बघा, हायड्रोजन इथं गेला, इट बिकम OH and now there is a bond between that CO and this ortho carbon आणि आपल्याला असा कंपाऊंड मिळतो. that compound is called ortho hydroxy acetophenone. ऍक्च्युअली दिस इज असिटोफिनॉन, CH3 C डबल बॉन्ड O आणि एका बाजूला बेंझिन रिंग आहे, त्याला आपण असिटोफिनॉन असं म्हणतो. एक्झाम्पल ऑफ कीटोन की ज्यामध्ये ऑर्थो पोझिशनला OH ग्रुप आहे, हेन्स नेम इज ऑर्थो हायड्रॉक्सी असिटोफिनॉन. ओके, फॉरगेट इट. आपण थोडंसं रिएक्शन कडे कॉन्सन्ट्रेट करूया. ऍक्च्युअली व्हॉट हॅपन्स इन द रिएक्शन, यस, फिनिल एसिटेट व्हेन heated with anhydrous AlCl3, here what happens, that COCH3 group migrates from oxygen to the ortho position. यामध्ये COCH3 चं मायग्रेशन होतं फ्रॉम ऑक्सिजन टू ऑर्थो पोझिशन. ओके, आणि इथं असणारा हायड्रोजन इट गोज ऑन द ऑक्सिजन and we get the product ortho hydroxy acetophenone and that reaction is called rearrangement reaction. Now what is the concept in the reaction? What is the characteristic property of the reaction? In this reaction, acetyl group, that COCH3 group migrates from oxygen to ortho position. Means there is a migration of acetyl group from one position to another in the same molecule, and that reaction is called rearrangement reaction. The reaction in which atom or group migrates from one position to another in the same molecule is called rearrangement reaction. That is called rearrangement reaction. In this reaction, there is no any substitution. There is no any addition. There is no any elimination. Just there is a migration of atom or group from one position to another position in the same molecule, and that reaction is called rearrangement reaction. And the name of that rearrangement is a Fries rearrangement. This is called Fries rearrangement. Okay, this is just about the types of organic reaction. Okay, we are just discussing about the type of organic reaction, and here we have studied 4 main types of the organic reaction: substitution, then addition, then elimination and rearrangement. यामध्ये पुन्हा आपण त्याचे सबटाइप सुद्धा पाहिलेले आहेत. पहिल्या 3 मध्ये substitution reactions are again subclassified into 3 types: electrophilic, nucleophilic and free radical substitution. Okay, second type is the addition reaction. The reaction in which 2 molecules combines together to form a single product. 2 molecules combines to form a single product. That reaction is called as the addition reaction. Here there are again 2 types of the addition reaction: electrophilic and nucleophilic addition reaction. Okay, and third type yamadla hai elimination. The reaction in which 2 atoms or group are removed from molecule without being replaced by another atom or group is called elimination reaction. याचे पुन्हा 2 test subtypes आहेत: 1-1 elimination and 1-2 elimination. And last type is the rearrangement reaction. मग यामध्ये rearrangement कशाला म्हणतोय आपण? The reaction in which atom or group migrates from one position to another position in the same molecule, and that is called as the rearrangement reaction. Okay, this is just about the types of organic reaction. ओके, तर या टॉपिक मध्ये आपण आतापर्यंत काय काय पाहिलं होतं सुरुवातीपासून 1-2 मिनिटांमध्ये मी रिवाइज करतो. फर्स्ट अबाउट द व्हॉट इज मीन बाय रिएक्शन मेकॅनिझम. व्हॉट इज रिएक्शन मेकॅनिझम? ओके, देन यामध्ये इंट्रोडक्शन मध्ये आपण बघितलं होतं रिएक्शन मेकॅनिझम कशाला आपण म्हणतोय. ठीक आहे, त्यानंतर यामधला फर्स्ट कन्सेप्ट जो आहे, कन्सेप्ट रिलेटेड टू द रिएक्शन मेकॅनिझम, कर्व्ड एरो नोटेशन. ओके, देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ द कर्व्ड एरोज. One is called as the single-headed arrow and second is the half-headed arrow. त्यानंतर यामधला सेकंड कन्सेप्ट मेन कोणता होता आपला? टाइप्स ऑफ बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग. देयर आर 2 टाइप्स ऑफ द बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग: हेटेरोलिटिक अँड होमोलिटिक बॉन्ड ब्रेकिंग. आणि त्यानंतर पुढचा कन्सेप्ट आपण पाहिला टाइप्स ऑफ रिएजंट: इलेक्ट्रोफिलिक अँड न्यूक्लिओफिलिक रिएजंट. ओके, आणि त्यानंतरचा आपण टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिक रिएक्शन पाहिलेला आहे. 4 टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिक रिएक्शन विथ देअर सब क्लासिफिकेशन ऑल्सो. ओके, दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट कन्सेप्ट रिलेटेड टू द फंडामेंटल्स ऑफ ऑर्गॅनिक रिएक्शन मेकॅनिझम. आता या टॉपिक मध्ये आपण पुढच्या पार्ट मध्ये काय स्टडी करणार आहोत इन डिटेल? रिएक्शन Intermediates. We are going to discuss reaction intermediates in detail.